highlight will be there, and you can catch up on some of the amazing gameplay from yesterday. So Simon's deck is something we've shown before here, and we've talked a little bit about the Mikanko strategy, how it has really good options going first and second. But Mattia is going to start us off here, and he is playing a very good start. He is actually playing Tearlaments, and beginning with the Kelbeck discard off Himseti to get the gold sarcophagus, sorry, not gold sarcophagus, king's sarcophagus.
Might have been a good one.
From the deck to the hand here, and now it's time to mill 5 cards. Let's see what we can hit here. All right, both players gonna use the send from the top of the deck 5 cards here. We hit a Havness Tier Cache.
Okay.
And Simon is getting the Ceremony in the grave. Ooh, as well as the one of Rise Heart might actually be an important piece to lose there.
Not bad, but Mattia only plays 2 Pearl Rhino, which are now gone.
Oh, he only plays 2?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so he might need a shuffler. Yeah, later on. It will be very good.
Back potentially if he hits a Trivikarma.
Yeah.
Let's see first these 2 additional cards off the top of his deck.
So we'll see if he has a...
And
there's one. Okay, nice. And using the Havness as Chainlink 1 on Tier Cache to mill, just in case you mill any other potential options so that you can choose something else to fuse on Resolution. But I think we're going to go for the rank 4, the Quarter Century, right? Mud Dragon.
Yeah.
Really important tool in Tearlament because it is a water rank 4, facilitates Bahamut Shark. It's also just a fusion as a target for further fusion plays into something like Dracostapelia. So a very important key piece of Tearlament, plays very differently across the different formats. For those of you familiar with Mastodon, for example, different kind of strategy here. We've also got Foolish Burial.
Okay.
Potentially resolving 2 of the Ishizu Millers in this turn 1 here. Let's see if that's what he is going to go for. Yep,
yes.
We got a Guido. Time to shivel up here and see 10 more cards from both players. Wonder if Simon can potentially get any valuable resources. That's a good hit. Sulik is going to search for anything. Malicious, huge, and another shuffle. And Destrudo. Okay. Simon does hit a Jet Synchron, however. That's pretty relevant.
Yeah, almost as good as his opponent, right?
Sulik going to get a search here, potentially for Shirin if we want to get more cards into the graveyard from the hand, or if we just need a normal summon with Rhino Heart.
But again, I mean, some people might call this, you know, jackpot, but when you consider that Mattia sent 12 cards off the top of his deck, out of 12 cards, you should get some good effects, and it's not a matter of luck anymore, so.
Noticing that there's only 1 Synchro Monster in Mattia's list here for the Destrudo, so I think you want to manipulate that into a level 3 by targeting a 4. Gives you a play with Tier Cache, and 7 and 3 is going to give you Baron as well, so full combo generally resolves with a Toad, a Baron, and potentially a play into an SP Little Knight as well. Banishing the Sulik. Did you see what he added with the Sulik?
Yeah, he did the Rhino Heart.
Rhino Heart? Okay, cool. And Tier Cache also hits a Shiren.
Wow, good meals, because he also has the King Sarcophagus in hand, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he will be able to special summon later on either the Happy and the Himseti as well.
And as you mentioned, now we might have access to that Baron with the Destrudo, so...
Okay, we're going to go for a Beatrice play by returning the Malicious. That's going to give you the Hero level 6, facilitating a Beatrice play.
This may be an insane opening, especially because, like we have seen Simon's deck yesterday, he's not playing any interruptions in the main deck. He doesn't have any hand traps at all, so...
And the Lava Golem could be huge, potentially, if he sees it off the top here. And Mattia now has enough information to recognize that that is an issue, so I wonder if he will try and play around it, or maybe you just put him on Better Have It and just do your full combo, right? It's very hard to play conservatively with Tearlament. It's a deck that sort of just mills, gets full combo going, and you just kind of set up your full field.
Yeah. The more you mill, the more you want to mill. You know?
Yep. How did we synchro with the Baron? It was the Destrudo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so half the life points being paid here, which is... Generally, the last point of life is usually all that matters. But in a deck against Mikanko, it could be kind of scary to be on 4,000, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, you have to be careful, especially because, like, we saw yesterday Simon's strategy, and I think he may be able just to seal the game very easily. Here with the Beatrice, I think he can also send the Merle if he really feels like. He has a lot of options, honestly.
Yeah, no, there's so many good targets. Both the millers have been used. Shufflers are both in the deck here, so it really is just about, we don't even need like the resources anymore. We just need to keep going and pushing with combo plays here, and that's exactly what he's going to do by sending a fusion here. Potentially end on a Drago Stapelia. I think he... Oh, we're going to go for Trivikarma.
He also plays the Rainbow Bridge.
Oh, sorry, it's not Trivikarma. Yeah, Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
With the, what's it called, the Crystal Beast,
yeah, the Emerald Turtle, right?
I feel like this engine was significantly better with Kick Coloss because the turtle acts as a aqua. You could always shuffle it back with Kick Coloss, and the trap card is always live. So it's a tiny bit bricky, I feel, especially with the Horus cards. But he's opened very well, so we're not going to be inhibited at all. Remember, we still haven't even used the Horus portion of the deck here. Couple in the grave with Obsedi and another name with the King Sarcophagus in the hand.
Makes sense.
So he put back 2 of Simon's card. Did he put back a Perla Rhino? Yeah.
Yeah. He did. That's... And there it is. So get to see a Crystal Beast 2020 free. It's actually not that bad of a deck, actually.
Yeah.
On its own.
It is level 4, correct? Or is it level 3?
Let me check. Level 3, I guess.
Oh,
yeah,
it
is
level 3.
level 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't overlay with the mud dragon, but if we do want to normal summon it,
I think also a good catch from Mattia, who shuffled back the Ceremony in Simon's Graveyard, which was the only one card that could have been banished itself for sending a Mikanko card, no? So a good catch from him.
Yeah, Ceremony and Jet Synchron, pretty good resources that we gave Simon with 10 mils, but that's why the Shufflers are so good. Even if your opponent does mill something, unless it triggers immediately, you can actually take that away from them, and then you still get the full value out of your 10 mils.
I think he's got another one potentially. Let's see. Yeah, he has a lot of options.
Shuffler? Yeah, he hit both of them.
Yeah,
we got Medora and Keldo. There's the King Sarcophagus coming down. Let's see what these Horus cards can offer the Tearlaments strategy. Wow. Over the last couple of months, we've seen people play around with different versions of Tier. We've got King of the Swamp with Polymerization. Some people play the Hero version.
Wow.
And Zombie Vampire. Hitting 4 cards here. We can just special summon the Rhino Heart if we want.
Also the Trivikarma as well.
And we have Trivikarma.
Master Reborn making an appearance for Simon.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the few decks we've seen all weekend choosing to play the OG Monster Reborn.
Yeah.
Gotta love that ultimate rare Rhino Heart. Looks incredible. And we still have a send if we want to. Is he choosing not to send with Rhino Heart? Unless he sent the Trivikarma? That was definitely milled with the Zombie Vampire,
it was milled. It was milled. Yeah.
He only has access to Merlis, I think, as name.
Yeah. But I can still get a Draco Stapelia, I think, right? Well, let's see what he does with it. Got the Zombie Vampire in the main monster zone.
Wow, what an opening, though.
He's impressive.
Yeah. The Horus card's just giving you like instant easy access to a Zombie Vampire for even more mills. You know, 9 cards sent from the top of the deck to the graveyard this turn. And our Link 2 of choice here is...
This is the SP?
Potentially Cross Sheep if we have even more ways to fuse.
Yeah, it is SP.
Yep. SP taking a resource out of the graveyard. SP, Toad, Beatrice, Baron. Whoa. Huge start here. But you know what does deal with a field like this? Lava Golem. Let's see if Simon is going to be opening or top decking that.
Couple of Lava Golems, I'd say. Yeah, to be fair. But yeah, great stuff.
How do you feel about the Horus engine in tier? Because it's not the standard, I would say, but it does offer a lot of power. And I suppose one of the only issues I would think is maybe just it can be a little bit bricky.
Yeah, consistency-wise, yeah. It's... I think it depends a lot on what you expect the rest of the format to be, because we saw some of them cutting a lot of, these engine cards. Because when you send them off the top of the deck...
the Merle was in the hand.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, yeah, that's why we didn't use Rhino.
And he sends the screen, but I think he might be out of traps, because like he just added one.
Yeah, unless, I don't know, we're playing Meta Noise or something. probably not. Merle gets the fuse with a fusion here, and I think we do really want to go for Dragostapelia.
Yeah, I think this might be one of the best start that we have seen so far from Tearlaments. Yeah. This is insane.
No, he goes for Kaleido.
Kaleido. Okay.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah, Kaleido Heart is huge on Simon's turn. You can send it with the Sulic, bring it back, fuse again, and spin a card.
Yeah, and now Lava Golem definitely isn't enough.
Yeah,
so. And
pop a card as well because the Perla right now. It's like 3 disruptions just by itself.
Yeah, this is fantastic stuff. I mean, it's just going to be revealing information to Simon. Didn't have to, but some sportsmanship from Mattia.
The Destrido has also been hit back into the grave again, so follow up for next turn if we need it.
And yep.
Well, I suppose the one thing Simon has going for him is that Mattia is on half of his life, so...
Not so humble combo.
If we can do any sort of push here, then there's a world where we can get through this, but we'll see. And these are the kind of fields that Mikanko scarily can actually take apart. You know, it's not exactly over. I think Simon is still very much in this, but I think we will probably need a Lava Golem here. It doesn't look like we're going to start with that. No, we've got the Sinful Engine. Diabellstar going to offer some kind of assistance by taking apart this field here, but so many good resources for Mattia available.
Yeah,
follow up. Yeah, we got follow up. We've got multiple disruptions. Beatrice acts as a toolbox for basically anything as well. So overall, Simon has just been completely dominating Swiss. He is the only EXO player left, and I don't think Mikanko has really been played at all. I haven't seen it anywhere in the top tables.
No, I think he might be the only one.
Yeah, he is showing great mastery over this deck, getting this far, this deep into such a huge tournament with a lot of big name players, a lot of talent out there in the top tables. So he's definitely performing super well with this Mikanko deck, and I think it's maybe something people don't take too seriously, but proving that it can indeed be something formidable.
That is super interesting, honestly. Has a lot of consistency, plays. We talked about this before. It's like triple tactic, thrust as well. It's not easy to deal with this.
Wow, normal summoned, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the only target for Souls the
Illusion
Bellstar?
I don't know. Maybe he's playing.
He plays Illusion.
He should have Illusion, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. We chose to normal summon this. All right, well, we are using the effect for cost here to send the Sinful off the field here to draw 1. Bear in mind here, Mattia has not activated any monster effects this turn, so if Simon has a talent or a thrust, it's not going to be usable right now, so I think Mattia definitely wants to hold as long as possible, just in case that is going to trigger.
And this is exactly what's going on. Maybe he's not even using the tier afterwards. Could be the case. No, okay. He does. So he goes for a monster effect.
Yeah, and as mentioned, this is so much disruption just by itself. The Sulic can trigger, the Kaleido triggers off the Shiren, the field spell can pop.
And you also get the Stabilia on top.
Yeah. The Kaleido setup is massive. Puts the Diabellstar back into the deck, and
now he can potentially destroy the souls.
Yeah. This is a reason to not destroy, maybe. I feel like there isn't really anything relevant.
I mean, it's just that you can use Beatrice afterwards, maybe, to trigger it. So maybe he doesn't feel like he wants to use it right here.
Yeah. Like Relinquished maybe could be a relevant card that Simon would play in Mikanko. That's something I would be scared of.
We have seen some of that around at the top tables for our Ultimate Time Wizard event, which is 2005 for this weekend. So that's still going on.
That's the other Relinquish, but sure.
Okay.
To go first. Lava Golem's easy to remove. Bring in something a little bit more useful, like those There Can Be Only ones. We'll see what he chooses to do against Mattia here, who I think I saw put in a Nibiru mid-sighting. Doesn't look like he's drawn any of that here.
Let's see.
No Droll and Lockbird to worry about. All right, that's a good start. We've got the Wanted. One thing to consider, I suppose, is, and you know, we talked about the diversity of the format, just how many decks there are. I think Tearlament is maybe one of the few like explosive combo decks around that don't lose really hard to Droll and Lockbird.
Yeah.
I find it quite difficult to really have answers to Tearlament in your side deck. Do you think just because of how many decks there are, you would dedicate things specifically to Tearlament?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not easy, honestly, to counter it, especially because, like as you mentioned, it has so many plays, and Matthias' deck as well also has the Horus cards, which is, I think, a nice addition to the deck in this case, especially because, like, I mean, either you put some pressure on your opponent by having, you know, big monsters on the field, and I mean, in general, I think that I feel like that, you know, like compared to the previous format, it's been even more difficult to side in cards against Tearlaments, honestly. Yeah, which are more specific, you know.
Yeah, seems like Bestials are pretty much ideal. This format, they're good against a lot of the decks that are popular, but chances are one Bestial doesn't do much against these Tearlament decks nowadays. So.
Yeah, Neko Bane King is the only thing that I still haven't resolved on a feature match, unfortunately, but we'll see it one day for sure. Here's the Arabesque coming out. That's going to give you a access into your Mikanko engine, bouncing the Delia Bellstar back to the hand, special summoning the Hare.
Yeah, it seems like for now there might be any response from Matthias, so finally we get to see some of this openings from Simon, maybe the Acid Golem combo you mentioned. So
yeah,
nice.
Ken and Jen from Age of Overlords has been a massive part of the Mikanko development and evolution of the archetype, because it's a great way to just give your opponent a monster. And I think typically Mikanko struggled with turn 1 plays because your opponent doesn't really have a field, and so Ken and Jen giving you good synergy, especially with the talents and the thrust. It lends itself really well to Mikanko. I think with Ken and Jen's reveal for the first time, a lot of people were on the train of, you know, something like Dart World, taking full advantage of it, ripping a card with Silva, and then going into thrust and talents because you give your opponent Ken and Jen. Speaking of which, funnily enough, Simon played Dart World the last event, so maybe he just enjoys these style of archetypes. I think that was a Rise Heart we added to the hand with the Isolde. Now we're going to get to send special summon out of the deck here any warrior.
That could be it. Yep.
Isolde, part of the infamous Link Vrains sort of era, where we had just so many incredible Link 2s: Jasmine, Hulk, Isolde, Union Carrier.
Yeah.
Half of those I mentioned are no longer with us.
And here we see the Gan, as mentioned. Usually you can decide, but against Tearlament specifically, you really want to do this way around, because like the Gan could come back to hurt you if you allow Tearlament to discard a card, maybe that Kelbeck again, you know.
Yeah. So giving the opponent the Ken.
Yep.
Draw 2 and discard. Extra Wanted in the hand, all right, nice. And there's thrust. This is exactly what we talked about. You give your opponent a monster, because they control it, you can actually add the talons to your hand.
Yeah, this is amazing, honestly.
So let's take a peek here and see what we've got. We've got Droplet, Merly, I think that's the Imseti.
That Droplet could be...
Yeah, Droplet sending for cost is like huge, so I assume if he hits Droplet here, we might see Simon go for that combo. Oh, he's also got the there could be only one in his hands here. Simon's really open insane. All right, so actually opting to not need the Droplet, it looks like.
Probably asking for, Do you like that there can be in this matchup?
No, I don't at all, but it's probably just because there's nothing better, right, to bring in going first, right? You're probably not going to need evenly matched.
And the Lava Golem,
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. The Lava Golem in the main deck, kind of useless going first, so it's just an easy straight swap, I suppose. What else would you really bring in here? Enough. He's only really got Book of Eclipse, I suppose, as an option.
Yeah.
So yeah, deliberating hard here over this talent return, because it is important that you consider potential top decks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
As expected, Droplet is the card here, which leaves Mattia with not that great of an end, to be fair.
No, he doesn't really have anything to get his own engine going except normal summon Merly Mill 3.
And now Simon, yep, throwing a card.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see just how we get through this. You always give your opponent the monster in the middle zone. It's the easiest way to swap over with the Geonator Transverter. And with modern sort of transferring effects of all the different extra deck cards available, you always want to play around like various zones. You don't want to summon in zone number 2 and 3, potentially because of Relinquish. You don't want to summon in 3 and 1 because of Transverser. There's just so many things to like consider and play around.
Anima as well, which, you know,
yeah,
it's kind of contradictory then, yeah.
All right, here is Fire Dance. So level 3 is the relevant level of Hare, because that is going to be able to let you go into that combo. Now, can we also... Oh, no, we're just going to pick up the cards. He's going to go first here. I'm really curious to see if Mattia actually let Simon start. I think he's most likely... Yeah, I think he wants to go first himself.
Not looking like it, and let's take a look at these openings. Mattia trying to look. Let's see.
I think it could just through the Crystal Beast.
I see a foolish Buddha Goods, maybe? Yeah. Which is a great card in this deck. Can send a lot of different targets, so that alone is okay.
Yeah, I think there's a good amount of options in place here available to Mattia. I'm just really curious, you know, how all in do you go here? Do you go and do your full combo like you did in game 1, or do you maybe play around Lava Golem and Sphere Mode and only summon one monster? It doesn't really feel worth it, I feel. Yeah, we'll see just exactly how it plays out here. Foolish Burial Goods going to send the Trivikarma. Trivikarma is...
Oof, but I think... Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, because I was thinking he could have sent the Rainbow, but I did see the Turtle, and there it is. Yeah. So he drew the Emerald Turtle, unfortunately, so yeah.
Always one of the most frustrating types of parts of deck building is a lot of decks do just have these engine requirements. The OG Gem Knight Garnet is usually how they are seen with Brilliant Fusion, if anyone recalls. And over the years, the development of different decks and strategies, you will find that there's a lot of cards in your deck that work specifically in your deck only.
I think many recall because we literally just saw your match against Leo, and that was quite a spectacle. Yeah.
All right, Trivikarma. I think Pearl Rhino is what we're gonna get out here, and I think we do have a really cool combo with Tear Cash and Shiren in the hand, potentially. Sure. Although you do want to get the maximum effect of Tear Cash in both ways. That is including the on summon effect, which mills 3, not inducing your normal summon. Is that a Dogwood I saw in Mattia's deck that's still there?
Really?
I think I saw him. Yeah, because he is siding Dogwood. I was just curious because it might have been a little early to side that. We'll see if he gets it into the grave at all. I'm not sure there's going to be much relevance to time here. I don't know. To be fair, 16 minutes. You never know how long Tearlament can take. Yeah, okay. Choosing to send a Denier instead of the Tear Cash here. Keldo! Oof. And we got a Guido! Amazing! All right. No Neko Main Kings in Simon's side deck, so I don't think there's going to be too much risk in actually choosing to resolve this Agido here.
Yeah, you can see Simon smiling as the last card is revealed.
Bro, I can't believe you hit the one of Agido.
Yeah.
I think he was actually thinking about whether or not he wants to activate it.
Really?
For a moment there.
And there, yeah, it is the Dogwood.
Okay. All right.
Spooky. Nothing
relevant, no.
Nothing for Simon, really.
Does he just play one Ken and Gen, I assume?
Yeah,
or
he plays only one Ken.
One of each?
I think one Ken,
two Gen. Okay, that might be a little bit unfortunate if that actually comes up and is relevant, deleting the resource out of your deck that you need there. Do we have a target for Rhino in hand? It looks like we might be triggering it here.
Yeah, I think we have a Tear Cash.
Yeah. Okay, discarding the Tear Cash. Unfortunately, he won't use the on-summon effect to mill 3, but we'll see if he can bring it back at some point, potentially. Gonna send with the Rhino, but first milling. Scream kill back!
Wow.
Okay.
Crazy.
I'm
Crazy
going to mill
opening.
10 cards from my deck.
Maybe flashback of game 1.
Yep.
Yeah. Admittedly, there's like so many ways to mill in this deck. There is a pretty likely chance you will get to resolve one of them in Tearlament, especially with Beatrice just guaranteeing it if you need to. So there's definitely lots of different paths to getting there. Tearlament can sometimes suffer from consistency.
Interesting. He's actually sending 5 first, risking maybe to send all of the traps, but it's them early too. Wow.
That is amazing. I don't think you can be too upset here.
No, we see the Lava Golem, but...
Yeah, Lava Golem, no Sphere Mode has been detected yet.
And 10 cards are gone, which, yeah, maybe... Statistically speaking...
there's a good chance.
Statistically speaking, yeah.
3 and 30, 10% off the top. Unless we've already opened it, like that's
what I'm saying.
Those are not bad odds. See if
he might be holding one, honestly.
Yeah,
I think,
exactly.
It's most likely that he is. Yeah.
All right, so Scream gets Sullick to the hand here, and we saw just how powerful Sullick is when you've got the setup with Perla Rhino into Kaleido Heart. So I think Mattia's choosing whether or not to use Merle here. I think you have to, right? Because all of these are limited. It's going to be hard to access it again.
But I think he's still resolving the upness from the chain of the Kelbeck now, and so he needs to figure out what he wants to go for.
Some type of rank 4 play, I think, is
probably
what we want to go for.
Dragon.
He did put the Garura back into his extra deck, it looks like.
Makes sense. Oh, yeah, it makes sense,
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's Mad Dragon, and now he gets to activate them early if he wants.
What can you make with Merle here? It's a big investment to go Kaleido Heart this early.
Is it though? Let's see.
Yeah, you can tell he's considering whether to use it or not. I mean,
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he does. He has a Destrudo in hand, I believe, so this will also give him quite a few plays. But no, okay, he did have the Denier, so this makes sense. He can now access the Malicious once again, if he wants. Yeah, makes sense. Why not?
We've got a lot of available plays here, so this is your level 6, which is extremely important. Gives you into the gives you the Beatrice line. First, it looks like we're going to go for a rank 4.
Yeah, just protect from any possible disruption, and we get to see the Toad.
Bahamut Shark overlaying as well is really important for the Rhino Heart as a nice resource that you get to keep, because when Rhino Heart comes back from the graveyard, next time it leaves the field, it would be banished. But by overlaying it, we get to keep that resource.
And there is the Destrudo I was talking about. You can get rid of that to send the Malicious.
Discard Destrudo, send Malicious. I mean, that is just value town right here.
And this is a Beatrice, straight up.
Huge field coming out here from Mattia. What's left to resolve at this point?
With the Beatrice. Most of his
Have we used all the names?
I think it's Shireen that's left, right? The one on field, and that's it.
So if we can maybe have Beatrice get us into some sort of rank 4 play, we could trigger the Shirid, make a Kaleido, or use that Destrudo for some sort of a synchro play.
Okay, gonna go for it.
Not to mention as well that you can send spells and traps if you like. Tear Cache has already used its effects. Send Sullick. Did we not use Sullick already this game?
No, I think he didn't.
No? Okay. Alright, we're adding Tear Cache, which means we can use the on-summon effect of Tear Cache, right? We haven't used the field effects, I believe?
No. So we can summon it, go into the Baron, but first we make either the SP, because we need some field space to do that. So could be the line here. Yep. Still revealing everything he has. Yeah, it's looking like it's gonna be pretty much exactly the same thing as game 1. He just needs to find the space here, and that's exactly what he's going for, I think, right? You go for SP here.
Yeah, I think it's... Oh, okay.
Okay.
We forgot that he still has access to the King's Sarcophagus.
Yeah, no, it's the same
Free special summons from the grave.
Same thing, yeah. Now we go for the Tear Cache.
It's interesting because the the deck itself for Tearlament has no sort of set combos, but it sort of does kind of congregate into like the same end field. And so you can see here, like this is literally like going to be card for card what we had before, right, in the last game.
Yeah.
But how you get there is going to be different depending on your starting hand. You know, you can start with a normal summon, you can start with Shiren Mills, etc., Foolish Send. Lots of ways to get you to this point, and I think that's why Tearlament is just such a really, you know, sort of fan favorite deck. It's really enjoyable and fun to play and see
well
what
played.
you can mill.
Well played here.
Yeah, for sure. Credit where credit is due. Mattia has played this and executed this perfectly.
And yeah, this is gonna be pretty much the same thing, except there will not be a Kaleido, it seems, unless he wants to use his Fuse. But yeah, he can do it with the Baron here. Makes sense.
Yeah, the value that you get out of Baron popping your own cards is, I mean, not every day that's going to be relevant, but here it is, resolving the last and final fusion. Going to go into the, using the Shiren to fuse up into the Kaleido Heart, and this is going to be everything you need right now. Yeah,
that's about it. Exact same field as game one. Will it be the exact same result? It's up to Simon to now find, you know, that sphere mode.
Yeah, really does need one of those heavy-hitting tributes. 6 in the deck total. We've milled a lot here. I think we've only hit one Lava Golem. Yeah. We just need to see any one of those, and I think that Simon is going to be in a really strong space here. I'm curious to see if Mattia wants to use this Beatrice in the standby phase, potentially, just to get value out of it in case we have that big tribute, because he should be more than aware that Simon does have, or at least plays it.
But doesn't look like it.
Okay, standing stoic. To be fair, it doesn't really matter because you're basically forcing your opponent to choose to hit the Beatrice, right? If you don't, if you don't use it immediately, then the Beatrice becomes useless, so you don't need to tribute it anymore. Whereas if you leave it up just now, you don't play into Talents or Thrust.
And there it is.
Okay, right, we did draw it. Sphere mode. A card that has basically very rarely been used for its, shall we say, effect to summon the Winged Dragon of Ra. Unless we get to Mattea's turn and surprises us, but yeah, this is typically what we use the sphere mode for.
Not the Toad though. Interesting.
There's just so much, isn't there, right? Because if you get rid of the Beatrice, if you leave the Beatrice can go into a fusion. You get a valuable like monster off of the Beatrice, plus a pop off of the Perla Rhino potentially, so it's like 2 disruptions on 1 Beatrice, whereas Toad is like kind of just 1 negate. Yeah, like especially when you have Sullik set, I think Beatrice is really important. It needs to go.
I agree. This makes sense.
Okay, that's an Arabesque. That's probably the best engine you can have going second.
For sure. I think we might even have to negate this one.
No, I think it's this one, the Rondo.
Oh, is it Rondo?
Is it Rondo?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah. Then no.
So if we can get a Mikanko onto the field, we can just instantly steal this SP. If we let this resolve, I feel like Mattia needs to use this. Can we double check if you can target the sphere mode? Because it might be untargetable by both players.
I think it is.
Yeah, it cannot be targeted for attacks or card effects.
Even by the turn player? All right, we're just going to double check this because it's very relevant here to remove your Sphere Mode and Little Knight off the field, especially to remove the... removing off the field.
Only your opponent,
Okay. Yeah, your opponent, yeah, okay.
So you can definitely do that.
Okay, that's relevant. And we've got now Fenrir onto the field here. This is really looking not too bad, actually, from Simon, despite the full combo performed there by Mattia. No. Simon does have...
wow, he goes for it. Interesting.
Negates the Toad here.
Well, this sounds like very good news for Simon. I wouldn't expect him to activate it if, you know, if he goes for this Fenrir, it means yes. Oh, but what?
Toad at Dogwood? That's amazing.
Crazy.
Okay. 8 minutes left on the round. I mean, he is down on half of his life points, so even regardless, Simon can choose to... God. I'm just wondering, is this actually going to be relevant, this Dogwood? We'll see. Preparation of Rites is activated, and that's going to get Ohime from the deck here. And that is basically access to the entire rest of the engine, but only one more card in the hand. Mattia has nothing left remaining, at least that's relevant. I think that's a Sulik face down here, so it really is just down for Simon to play this out and see if we can do something about this, especially with the Dogwood. I think he might not potentially be in range to end the turn, but we have to clear and then set up and then have another turn potentially on Simon's side. With 7 minutes left on the clock, I think things are getting a little bit more relevant right now. Choosing to pick up with the Preparation of Rites, the Illusion of Chaos, which is interesting because Ohime seems like a very important part of the deck here. I'm trying to get an update on just exactly what the current situation is, because there appears to be some discussion. Yep, we're going back to the table now. Play can resume, and we can begin from where we left off here. So if you're just joining us, Simon, he has been going second here into the full combo of Tearlament. And as you can see, Mattia's got no monsters left. Where did it all go? Well, we had a Toad, a SP, a Baron, more things. Beatrice, what else did we have? A Beatrice.
And something else.
I think that was something else as well, yeah. And that was removed. Yeah, that we've removed it with a sphere mode. And then further than that, Simon has actually given the Fenrir over to the opponent here. Yeah. And that's been booked face down. And now we're going to special summon out and continue the plays here by summoning the Magician's Souls from our hand.
The last card face down is the Saliek. That is not really useful at the moment, but he does have access to one last interruption, which he's going to use here, which is that Pearl Rhino to destroy the Magician's Souls. So let's see if Simon remembers about that. No, that's not going into the deck. The Souls should go to the grave. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Bit of confusion, but makes sense. And with 3 minutes of extension, now there are about 9 minutes remaining in the round. And also we should keep in mind that from the Toad we got that Dogwood added back, which is the last card in hand from Mattia. And with 4,000 left points remaining, that could help tie things up. If not, Simon could also take this one, because right now Mattia is also relying on the top deck. He has nothing left. So
yeah, Dogwood added back from Toad is a really niche interaction that I haven't seen anyone do in time, actually. But Mattia pulling it off here, most importantly, isn't even to gain ahead in life. Because we use Destrudo, I think it really is just a case of survival, especially against Mikanko, which can just deal so much damage out of nowhere. And I think we still have an Ohime in the hand here that I believe Simon is in the middle of resolving right now.
Yeah,
I think he will the Ohime.
All right, we're tapping, we're thinking, and
yeah, it still has quite a few cards left.
Simon does have to be a little bit careful here because we are very close to potential penalties being involved. But there is the search out here. We're getting the Kagura. Yeah, this is a Kagura ritual spell, can bring out the Ohime. Defense on Fenrir is 2,400. Which would leave Mattia...
shaking his head though. Maybe not happy with what he's added. Maybe a little bit of a miscalculation. Could be.
If we can put 2 Mikankos on the field, I mean, it would be enough.
But the Dogwood is there. Yeah.
Well, Dogwood summoning into 0 attack monsters isn't relevant, right? So, dealing reflected damage into a defense position, Fenrir for 24 twice would seal this for Simon. Let's see if he can navigate to there. Okay, just wondering what's going on right now. I think is this a translation we're looking for?
I don't know. Apparently, it seems like Simon conceded, and maybe.
Oh right.
Wow. Why? Okay.
Okay. Back to us over here at the desk.